This is Win News.
Tonight, weather chaos as the region's hit with torrential rain. Flash flooding, a crushing blow for farmers. And councils prepare for a population boom. Good evening, I'm Samantha Heathwood. Unseasonal torrential rain has caused headaches for business owners and householders throughout the region. Streets were inundated and the Bruce Highway was closed.
A storm system came out of nowhere in the early hours of this morning. It hit hard and the region was inundated.
From about 4:30 this morning, SES started receiving phone calls from local residents and businesses saying they had localised flooding.
Business owners at the fourways were caught out by the weather. Sandbags were brought in to limit the damage.
Water was all in through the floor. Hasn't quite got into the workroom, but it's in all the floor.
In the 24-hour period to 9 this morning, rainfall figures in some areas were enormous.
Goose Ponds tops the list with 194, so that's pretty substantial. Mackay Alert, which is down around the East Mackay area, that got 182.
The wet weather also causing chaos on roads.
We're getting a lot of vehicles that are following too close to each other and obviously not being able to stop in time because of the reduced grip on the roads. We've got incidents where vehicles are driving into water over the road and obviously having their vehicles flooded and having to be rescued from those.
The Bureau of Meteorology says September is meant to be our driest month, but the wet weather could continue with the possibility of more storms tonight and tomorrow.
This rain event by no means indicates the start of the storm season. It's a bit early for that, but it is a good reminder to the residents that this is the sort of rain we'd be able to expect this year.
Police are warning road users to be responsible.
Just need motorists to slow down, just take particular attention what they're doing in these wet weather conditions.
Isabella Robinson, Win News.
Meantime, cane farmers are praying for sunshine after today's downpour. Some have experienced more than 200 millimetres, which will create havoc when harvesting and planting.
As Mackay went underwater this morning, cane farmers were left weighing up the damage.
It's untimely. A lot of the growers are in the middle of the harvest and just finishing their planting.
Falls of more than 100 millimetres were reported at Eaton, Walkerston and Farley. The unseasonal downpour is expected to cause major delays. The only thing they can do now is catch up on the paperwork.
Yeah, all the paperwork, paperwork starts now. We've been pretty busy up until today.
They're hoping this cloudburst is the last bit of bad luck the cane industry will experience this season. The sooner the sun comes out, the less damage is likely to be caused.
We need a pretty good run from now to the end of the crushing, to the end of November.
Unfortunately, with more storms predicted tonight and tomorrow, it's an unlikely scenario.
We've had records here since 1969 and we had a look this morning in 1998 was the last year that we had this sort of rain.
While rain is normally a welcome sight on the land, farmers didn't need this much so unexpectedly. Adam Gleeson, Win News.
It's a great start to the season for John Manselman.
Yeah, fantastic, and a fun day out too.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dan. Stay with us. Peter Byrne has the weather details up next.
Good evening, Weather Watchers. Well, the rain over eastern Queensland has been no surprise, as forecast. There's been one exception, however, the rainfall amounts. Now, given the time of year, dry September. Now, some centres, including Mackay, have recorded unprecedented totals in recorded meteorological history. Deciding on what depends on what site they are, of course. And certainly, it's not over yet. Okay, let's check rainfall for the 24 hours, 9 o'clock this morning. Look at this, Lower Gregory. That's up there north of Proserpine, 202 millimetres. Unofficial but accurate reports of Hideaway Bay, that's between Proserpine and Byrne, of 400 millimetres. Unprecedented for given the time of year. Goose Ponds and Mackay, 194. Mackay Alert, 182. There was one thunderclap about 2 o'clock this morning. I'll tell you what, my head hit the ceiling. Bowen, 111. Serena, 90. Now, it's a new September record for Mackay Mount Bassett, okay, after about 51 years at that site. But the heaviest September rainfall for Mackay ever recorded for September was at the post office. We had to go back to 1921 with 232 millimetres. So that Mount Bassett site was the heaviest for that site. Now, rainfall for the 6 hours of 3 p.m, Hamilton Island 87, Middle Percy Island 63, Mackay Alert Gauge that's in River Street 40, Dumbleton Rocks 30, Proserpine Airport 19. Farley till 9 this morning 154, and as I say, I mentioned that 400 at Hideaway Bay. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? Let's have a look at temperatures through the region today. Hardly any change. Look at that, hardly any movement. St Lawrence 21 to 23. Lightning bolts and all sorts of things took out the AWS at Mackay Airport this morning. Mount Bassett minimum 21, maximum 21. So I'll let you work out what the average temperature was. Now basically, currently in Mackay the temperature's still on 21 and the air is almost saturated. Hey, cast your eyes on the second satellite picture actually, but this one's not too bad as well. We get that deep trough along the coast here, an upper level trough as well. All slow moving. So the bulk of the heavy rain is now past, but the rain will continue for several days. Queensland, I don't think there's anyone in the land of the living who has seen anything like this given September, okay? Unprecedented record falls in many East Queensland centres. But at that particular time, all the heavier rain was off the coast. Right, on to the chart. We've still got the same old high. It hasn't moved. And that's where it will remain for another 4 to 5 days. We've got the upper level trough over the top. We've got the surface trough. We've got a deep northwest to northerly flow, 14 kilometres deep, would you believe? So the rain will continue, but the bulk of the moderate to heavy falls have now eased. The local forecast, rain continuing, 1 or 2 thunderstorms, southeast to northeast winds. A low may develop off the Fraser Island coast in the next 24 hours, and similar also for Wednesday. Central Highlands, rain and thunderstorms, no heavy falls expected. Clermont tomorrow, maximum 25. Let's have a look at the maritime observations at 3 p.m. Hamilton Island south-southeast at 21 knots. But all centres off the coast are all over the place like a Labrador's breakfast. I can vouch for that. Coastal waters, southeast to northeast 10 to 15, similar for Wednesday. Tidal information followed by sun up and sun down. Okay, consider yourself meteorologically briefed. Now it's back to Sam.
Thanks, Burnsy. Join us tomorrow night for the best hour of news from 6 p.m. From all the team, good night.
Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation from Win Television, Australia's largest commercial television network.